Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're back live on iRacing for the start of the Pagnian Imports Ferrari 488 Championship, and it is great to be back again after our 1 week break and then seeing the guys head off into the Ferrari 488 GT3s for 5 rounds. We're going to be heading off to Barcelona Catalunya tonight, then off to the Nürburgring Grand Prix, then round 3 we have Fuji International Speedway GP, round 4 is Red Bull Ring GP, and then finishing off at Imola GP as well. So throwing all GPs at the guys for the full 5 rounds in the Ferraris. The session tonight we have at Barcelona is 10 minutes of practice. Weather conditions are partly cloudy. Qualifying is 10 minutes and the race is 40 minutes. We've capped the cars at 47% fuel, so they're going to need to stop to take some fuel to finish the race out. It is standing starts with restarts with single file with lap cars to the back. We did finish up previous championship, which was the Kia Optima Championship, and our victor for the series was Cameron Veacock on 574 points, so he'll be able to continue on the good run in the Ferraris tonight. Looking at the previous round to wrap us up, we were at Laguna Seca and it was a clean sweep to finish the win for the championship, and that was done by Cameron Veacock with the pole position, the victory and the fastest lap of the race. We'll take a look at the track. So in Spain, track length is 4.57 kilometers. There's 16 turns, and then there is 4 sectors that the drivers will be getting around. So we'll be heading over to the track now. We'll make sure we get some audio back up. If you're joining us for the stream, do jump in the chat, say hello. Use those sound effects controls down underneath the string so you can have some fun and play them over. It will be captured. Super Crusher, thanks for joining us. For our new viewers, be sure to hit that follow button so that way you can be notified when we go live. So we'll be here with the Ferraris for 5 weeks on Monday nights at 7:35 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. Also have Project Cars 2 on Thursday nights, and that's starting off with round 1 this week in the Toyota 86s, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. 21 drivers loading up at the moment. We have some newcomers as well. That's John Marinas, hopefully I'm pronouncing names right. Regular drivers, we've got Cameron Veacock, series champion in the Kias. The drivers are loving being out of those Kias. Did really put a challenge to them. And these Ferraris handle amazingly well. These are the legacy version for those that do use iRacing as well. So it's retired the legacy status after the introduction of the Evo model. Ryan, Cardi McCarthy, Jason Schooler, and hey Mick, hopefully you can hear me a bit better now. I have my mic boom pointing the right direction. We got John Gallen. It is the start of us actually running our own team. Some drivers actually running their team colours out there. Shane Patterson. Car. It's done a 152.292. Shannon Corbett. Seeing Corby for ages. It's good to see him back amongst racing with us again. buckling. Dave Jansen currently in the pits. Cochrane's just gone off. Not sure if he's taken some damage. He's going to bring that car back in, I believe. Spurt. Dan Bartosh. Some fantastic Ferraris out there too. Taking across. And that is open practice done. Hey Weaven, thanks for jumping on. Hopefully we'll be able to see you on track next week. Scramble out because they've only got 10 minutes to qualify. It's quite a long track. 22 cars currently loading in the session. Maybe finding it a little difficult to try and get that qualifying lap in. It's only going to give them 3 opportunities to get a decent time lap in there. And the drivers are allowed to use custom setups, so there's no fixed setups locked for it. Got old Patterson. Trying to cover all our drivers. And Dan Winrow. Just as we had several drivers load in. Shane Ewan's currently in the pits. We've got Michael Brennan. No worries, Crush, I'll adjust that. These Ferraris do scream a lot more than what we've had with the Kias. Hope that's a better balance between the two now. The drivers should be on first time laps now. Like Vcock may be leading the charge at this point. Let me know if that sound level's sounding much better. Ewan's still parked up in the pits. Taking much time for that qualifying now. Brand makes a little bit of a mistake there. Dives straight out of the corner. Should see a time lap come up on the board very soon. And then we'll jump on board for a lap around Barcelona. All the best to our debut driver tonight, John Marinas, starting off with us. Thanks, Super Crusher. We can balance that out now. He's pulling over, he's letting some drivers through, so he's probably on an out lap at the moment. Vcock's just got a time lap in. Got him carving. Turn 3, very long, sweeping right-hander. too much on that exit curve. You can be stung for an off-track. The thing about these Ferrari 488s, you can throw them around. They enjoy being crashed. You drive them too easy and they don't handle it all. Nice and wide for that back straight. Down to the more technical sector. Very sharp hairpins in the mix. There's a lot of time to be made up here. Very cautious of those sausage curves. On that right hand, then coming down into the chicanes before we come down into the final turn. In the perfect line here, so you can go flat foot all the way through that final turn, turn number 16. It's on 146.275 from Ryan. That's qualified him into 5th position. Our current pole is Cameron Veacock setting a 144.3. He's then followed by Blake Urquhart. Tyson Hammer qualifying 3rd. Also aiming for 145. Corbin Patterson setting a 146.1. Bruno's doing well in his debut, setting 6th position at the moment. He's landed at 146.373. About 7 tenths separating 1st to 2nd, so there's a fair gap at the moment. 3 minutes left on the clock. There's only going to be about 2 laps left in this. That was Ryan's car that had just gone off before. This is another flat black Ferrari out there. So we've got 18 drivers getting a time. Gander, Buckland, Winrow and Hodgkinson to get a time on the board. It doesn't appear that Hodgkinson has actually joined into the session yet. So he's registered but hasn't loaded in. Drivers taking it cautiously. It looks like they may be trying to put a little bit of space between them. They will need to practice that pit entry as well, so they can be familiar where that pit entry is, where the speed markers are. We've seen some pretty tight races, so every second is going to count in this tonight. Drivers getting times on the board. It's needing Gander and Buckland to get one in now. This may have thrown an opportunity for Gander. It's fully classed as an off-track. If you can cross that control line in time, he'll have another lap to do for qualifying. There's 25 points up for grabs for that pole position. Still quite a fair gap. Qualifying with Veacock. I think he's parked the car up. That's quite an interesting spot. Yeah, he's just brought the car back into the pits. So that'll be qualifying done for Veacock. He's 7 tenths quicker than Blake Urquhart. hasn't made an improvement on that lap, so he's only going to have this lap to do it. There's 30 seconds left to the session, and then it's final lap. At the moment, Tyson and John both being set for second row. Fair few drivers getting in the 146 area. It's only 6 seconds separating all drivers. Buckland just getting in a time. Silgander's just brought the car back to the pit. He's the only driver not to get a time on the board, as does Hodgkinson, but he hasn't actually loaded in just yet. Lucas Burt is the other full black Ferrari out there. This is Fenner Corbett. Big blink out for Corbett. Patterson's parked up. Car doesn't improve that time, so we're going to take a look over at the qualifying results now. Oh, we've just maybe missed it. We'll have a look and see what goes on. So Cameron Veacock takes pole for round 1, and the rest of the grid is Blake Urquhart, Tyson Hanmer, John Marinas, Ryan Ducatia McCarthy, Oliver Patterson, Mark Cochran, Jason Schooler, Dan Bartosh, Damien Cross are our first 10, and we'll scan through. Brennan Gallen, Jansen, Burt, Winrow, Corbett, Patterson, Buckland, Newens, Brand, Gander, and then Hodgkinson, wrapping up our 22 drivers. A few drivers just waiting out that countdown now. Session, we'll just move them over in a moment once it's counted that intermission in between the sessions. Once the drivers exit out of their cars, and it'll continue on just a little bit quicker. Hopefully we get a good clean start to the race as well. The session's hanging quite a fair bit. There we go, let's just move them on now. Driver's got a couple of minutes to grid up. Should see a good launch here from this camera angle. Hopefully it maintains the same. Blake's just brought the car back out. Just waiting a few drivers to hit that ready button. Yeah, Mick, it is good to see Corby out there on the track. It's been a long time since we've seen him either on project cars, and especially even on iRacing. Very rare appearance on here, so good to see him jump in. Hopefully he can make the whole series. Just waiting on Veacock, Patterson and Newens to hit that grid button. They've got 30 seconds left to do it, otherwise we'll be seeing them starting from pit lane. Hodgkinson's loaded in as well, so we're going to have all 22. Oh no, he's just dropped back out. Maybe some connection dramas. Veacock's readied. we go, they've all readied up now.
Green, green, green.
Okay, green flag for round 1 of the Ferrari 488 Championship. Line start, V-Cup's got to shave a lot more speed for turn 1. Hammer out to the outside, he had the yield, he's got Urquhart sitting right on his tails, he's lost a position from the grid. Veacock starting to pull ahead already just in the first 2 turns. Start. Looks like there's some contact going on. Gallen's just gone off. Corey Brand has gone off in a separate section. Gander's just had the tow, not sure what's going on for him. But Gallen's trying to get the car up into that hill, and the car's slipping a fair bit. Oh, there's a big slip at the back. That's McCarthy. What a spin. He was pirouetting down that straight. He may have taken a little bit of curb and put that car into a spin. Grant not needing a tow. As is Gallen just Gander. I think that may have came on very early, not sure. It may have been mixed in or if it was just himself. Can't see him on the register. No, Dave Jansen by the look. More tapping again. That's Patterson's. Oh, he's just got himself caught up on that curb. Can he get the car off it? He's going to have to rock it backwards and forwards. Patterson's helping him off it. Oh, he's going to get himself stuck in the process. He may have been at fault for that, so he's actually redressing it. Way to redress, sacrifice your own car for a tow in exchange for it. Does he got his car off? Well, they're both helping each other out. How fantastic is that? So McCarthy gives him a friendly tap back off the curb. So they're essentially seesawing off that. Looking for an opportunity. Went to cut that corner a fair bit, and there would have been met with a sausage curve, and it would have been a disastrous incident if he had gone for it. Well, these two are fighting it out. This is going to open opportunity for Veacock. Hammer left the door open for Urquhart, and he's taken it. Just narrowly gets in front. I think there may have been a little bit of a touch. McCarthy's been in and used a fast repair. So the drivers have access to fast repairs for the session. Starting lap 3. Veacock is flying ahead now. Oh, that curb. Nearly threw that car out. Basically grinded across the top of it. Turn 1, you can actually straddle the sausage curb. It won't actually sting you for an off track. If you've got that car very low, you could potentially cause some aero damage to the Ferrari. Patterson's feeling a bit of pressure from Cross at the moment. Maybe a full second pace over that previous lap compared to Patterson, so he may be looking for an opportunity very soon. Notching up 14th through to 17th. Just had an off, not sure if he's made contact with another car, doesn't appear to so. Gallen's trying to close in on Brand. Oh, a mistake costs him the position. Gallen flies on through. Understeered straight out. Corbett's making a move on Newens. He's going to have inside advantage, but you have to shave a lot of speed for turn 1. He's going to be far enough ahead to do it. You can straddle that curb if you need to, so we can cut the corner a little bit. Really fast by Corbett. Race leader Veacock now pulling ahead by 3.3 seconds. Ken Urquhart now focus on Veacock ahead, close that gap now that he's gotten around Handler. Doing extremely well in his debut, qualified a nice position. Currently holding in 4th position. Will he be able to hold for long? Cochrane seems to be closing in pretty well. The fastest lap in the session so far, pretty much on par with each other. That previous lap, Morenis was nearly a second quicker than Cochrane. Like Cochrane may have made up a fair bit on that lap. We'll see what happens when they cross the line here. Still a second slower for Cochrane, so that may be safe for Morenis at this point. He's done a toe. I'm not sure he would have been back on unless he's had the toe a second time. McCarthy and Patterson getting caught up in the chicanes. Didn't end up a lap down. McCarthy did need to pit, deal with the damage. Closing in on Jansen. See a fair bit of debris scattered out on that exit curb. We had a car off earlier. It was Brennan that we saw off. Getting in a fair few single car contact issues going on. Hopefully it's only just the game picking up it as an off track and not any damage for them. May just be hitting curves rather hard. Drivers will need to be cautious as well. They do have 17 incident points before they'll be required to actually serve a drive-through penalty. The race lead's been pushed out by another 4 tenths over that previous lap. Urquhart's starting to drop back a bit. Will he potentially be able to close that gap when they've got to head in for fuel? So a quarter of the way through. of spacing going on, some closer positions. Oh, Philip Buckland saves the car. Try and find that track position. He's well off pace here. Hodgkinson looking for an opening as he carried a lot more pace down into it. Buckland just yields that off. Well, Jansen coming back on is a bit of an issue. He's lost that pace. Nearly 2 positions gain for Hodgkinson. We've lost Blake Urquhart. Not sure if he's suffered a disconnect. He's actually not showing in the session. No register of him coming off track or anything. So it's a huge lead for Veacock now. He's got 6.8 seconds to position 2. Urquhart did have hardware failures in the previous series. I believe it was on the drivers and software updates may have rectified it, or maybe it hasn't. It's going to be a shame as Blake was having a good run up in position 2. Managed to get around Patterson when he was putting the pressure on earlier. Can Bartage start to close in on Patterson? Again, is still in the pits. Who actually might be moving away. He's parked the car up. Something seems to be going on for him. Is he having technical issues? Could very well be the case. The car's not actually refreshing on that screen. That's a nuisance. Down underneath, not actually refreshing for drivers. It's how annoying. Gander back in the pits again, definitely having some tech issues by the go of it. Bartage just moves up on Patterson, makes a mistake. We saw him off track there. He quickly recovers and gets back on the tail. Buckland holding pretty steady between each other. Like Buckland got a fairly good run out of that corner. That's put him pretty close to the tail of Gallen. Bit of oversteer slowed him up as well, but then also followed by Buckland. off for Buckland. That's going to allow Garland to really pull ahead on the pit straight. Winrose coming up behind the two as well. About just under 5 minutes away from halfway point. We could potentially see some drivers starting to pit in. Big mistake for Grant. Shane Patterson just moves up into position 19. Veacock now on approach to lap some cars. Interesting to see what happened for Urquhart. He was chasing down Veacock. Just a complete disconnect. Position 2, he's got Morenas breathing down his neck now. Start pestering those mirrors, looking for an opportunity. Takes a fair bit of curb. School are fighting it out for position 8. Approach that halfway point now. We'll take a quick look at the standings. So we've got Russell Gander, who's now retired out of the session after those tech issues on that toe. Couldn't seem to get that car moving. And he did. He had to quickly bring it back. He only moved about a metre. Looks like a disconnect for Blake Urquhart. So that's P22 and then 21 for Urquhart. Corey Brand in 20th. Shane Patterson in 19th. Ryan McCarthy in P18. 17th we have Daniel Winrow. Brandon coming out in position 16, exiting those pits. He's come out about 4 or 5 seconds ahead of Winrow. 15th we have Lucas Burt. Dave Jansen in P14. Buckland's 13th. He's reasonably hanging on to the tail of position 12, which is John Gallen. 11th is Shannon Corbett. Turning, thanks for jumping on the straight. Corbett just makes up a position, passing Jason Schooler, who was in the pits, who's dropping back a few. The car's going past, not yet having actually pit. We have Callan Hodgkinson in P9. Shane Ewan's in 8th. John Marinas in P7. He has been in pit, as is the car ahead, which is Tyson Hammer in position 6. They were running 2nd and 3rd before making that pit stop. They were the first of the race leaders to head down into the pits. Oh, both running off track, throwing up some dirt. Great run in from Marinas. Kind of balked him and put him off pace a bit. He's avoiding giving him a shunt. Sure, these two are going to probably fight it out through to the end of the race. They've been having a great run. Hammer in 6th, then up in 5th is Oliver Patterson. Dan Bartish in P4. P3 is Damien Cross. Mark Cochran in position 2. He's just lapped Winrow at that point. Was it Winrow? I'm not sure whose car that was. Patterson, sorry. Race leader, having led for the full 12 laps so far, is Cameron Veacock. He's a 15.8 second lead. He'll just be looking for that prime opportunity for the pit window, so he can try and come out and still get some good clean air out the front. Stay out. There's Veacock and Cochran. Cross is coming in. Patterson stays out on track. Both fighting it out. Marinas takes a little bit of curb, didn't quite straddle it, so it's put him off. He has another attempt. Door slightly closed for him. He's going to go for an outside opportunity. He's going to try and swing it in. He's very eager to make a move. week. Oh, that is very close. He came in very hot. He is really working to take that position. What a very vibrantly coloured Ferrari, that one. It's fantastic out here in the car. Emma's going to be feeling a lot of pressure with Marinas making moves like that. With nearly 14 and a half minutes left to the race, it's going to be a fair bit to try and defend off. At least succumb to Marinas very soon. That was Oliver Patterson. Won't need to be trying to fight too much to get around. Patterson hasn't been in to take fuel. He's going to need to finish out the race. These two fighting it. Gets that power down a little early, but they both do it. This is a little rear slip on that exit. Marinas have the opportunity here. If he can just maintain a nice line, he should be able to slingshot right out. Oh, he ran off a tad wide. He's lost that momentum. Still very quick though. Wasn't tucked out. Dives for that corner. Very quick as pushes right out. He's going to take some damage hitting that curb. That cost him a whole heap of speed down into turn one. Hodgkinson and Corbett now in the pits. That was Patterson coming out. Car ahead of him is Jansen. He hasn't yet come in for a stop. The race leader, Cameron Veacock. Oh, I don't know if he was contemplating staying out. I think he was a little undecided. He was right in the middle of the two lanes. It's an 18-second gap for Veacock. Cochrane hasn't yet been into pit, so he'll take the race lead. He's going to have to come in over these next couple of laps, I would assume. I don't think there'd be much left in the tank at this point. Comes back out on track in position 2. Looks like he's got about 15-second lead over Hanmer. Cochrane's been having a fantastic run. And hey, Jurassic Jam, thanks for jumping on. Good to see you again. dropped back a little bit from Hanmer. It's a bit of a sigh of relief for Hanmer. He's getting a fair bit of pressure put on him. Madison coming. Oh, that's cost him. He doesn't need to push hard to get around Jansen. He's going to have to come in at some stage. In comes Cochrane now. That sees Veacock resume the race lead. It's from lap 18. Veacock led for 16 laps. Lose 1 lap led to Cochrane. Him heading into the pits. A fantastic run for Veacock. Hanmer and Marinas pretty much fighting it out for most of the race. Marinas maybe a little bit rattled after the dive he took. There may have been a little bit of damage taken that's affecting the car. Cochrane re-enters the race in position 4. It's about 10 seconds away from Damien Cross. He's 5 seconds behind Marinas and Hanmer. Marinas starting to close in a little bit more now. Lapping position 14. So this car that was. That was McCarthy, so he's actually in position 17. The window LED is not updating. It usually doesn't update until they cross that control line. Had a phenomenal run tonight. Corbett and Jansen now fighting out. Jansen's been in and taken that fuel. It's allowed Oliver Patterson to get through clearly. Jansen and Corbett both fighting for position. A little bit of a blink out for Jansen. Bit of a bad line. Going through turn 1 and 2. That's allowed Corbett to really close in. Can he maximise it through this very long turn 3? So checking out here for position 15 is Gallen and Winrow. Well, starting to close in pretty quick. Sorry, Gallen was closing in, it's the other way around. Gallen's previous lap time of 1:48.7 to Winrose 49.8. Second quicker, he may be able to get him over the course of this lap. So it's a very tight gap between the two. It was only about half a second at one point. It's only down to a few tenths and teetering out. Well, it looks like it's been a mistake, so Gallen's got him. Fight for the podium position still continuing between Moranis and Hammer. Not as intensive as it was before. Could Moranis just be sitting back? Moranis gets balked at that corner again. He's coming there pretty quick and had to get on the anchors. So he's clearly able to out-brake Hammer into that corner. But it is a very tight corner to try and find a line to get through. Try and hold back a little bit and just match that pace and just try and get on that throttle a little bit earlier than him so he can sit hot tight on his tail for that last technical sector. Get the run on him down the straight. He was really getting that pace, but it wasn't until the back end as he dives for turn one. So the getaway speed for Hammer seems to be outmatching Moranis at this point. Only 2 to 3 laps left to go, because there's just over 3 minutes on the clock. The driver's been in and taken fuel. Oh, Moranis has just made a move. I think there may have been contact. Looks like he's redressing it. Redressing that position without trying to lose too much pace. Fantastic sportsmanship there. And that's opened up a huge opportunity for Cochrane. Can he take advantage of it over the course of these next few laps? Contact between the two. It appears that it was only very minor. Oh, Moranis has got a fantastic run. Hammer used his one move, but he's going to have that inside line. Moranis has dived for the inside line in turn one multiple times. Will he be able to out him on the outside? He's going to be pushed out. Oh, they've touched again. Duke it out in these final laps. There's 1:30 left. So depending on where Vcock is, we'll be on approach for the final lap very soon. Moranis, a bit of oversteer. It's cost him some speed. And look at Cochrane closing in on the two. Could the door open for a podium finish? Vcock's coming down in towards final chicanes. Eyes on Vcock as to when he crosses the line. He's got 40 seconds. This could have almost been the final lap, just depending on where he was as he's on approach. Cochrane has made a move. He's moved up on Hanma. There was a mistake made by Hanma. This would be a fantastic outcome for Cochrane. His first podium. on the iRacing with us. And Marinas debuting tonight to be able to take podium as well. Cochrane even moved up into position 2, but then Marinas moves back. It's final lap, white flags out. Marinas lost a lot of speed on that line for that corner. Cochrane had a huge advantage. Show these three drivers have been putting on, especially Marinas and Hammer. They've been at it non-stop. They're going to be so fatigued after this. They did not give each other a break. Marinas really moved ahead now. Cochrane's probably going to have to just try and play defensive. I don't think he's going to be able to get the run on Marinas. Checkered flag. Veacock takes the win in the opening round for the Ferrari 488 Championship. Well done to Veacock. These three are very close. Fighting for the podium here. Marinas just needs to take it cautious through the final corner, just to maintain that speed. It's not going to be enough time for Cochrane to get the run of him. Cochrane just needs to play defensive. Marinas crosses the line, P2, podium finish, Mark Cochrane, P3, Hammer, P4, Damien across on approach for 5th. Bartosz brings it home in P6. Comes Oliver Patterson for position 7. Jason Schooler in 8th. Hutchinson in 9th. Cars fairly well bunched in the end. Not too much of a gap between these finishing positions. Same with Newlands coming up in 11th. Jansen and Corbett fighting it out right to the finish line as well. Jansen 12th, Corbett 13th. Buckland only a few seconds behind them as well. Gallen coming up into 15th. And those drivers already crossed the line, so there will be, if there's any victory burnouts going on, so we'll take a look at these finishing results. And after 23 laps around Barcelona, Cameron Veacock is our winner. He led for 22 laps of those 23, so a fantastic run. Also on the podium in position 2 is John Marinas, and in position 3, Mark Cochrane. So well done to our podium finishers. And the rest of the standings, we've got Tyson Hammer, Damien Cross, Dan Bartosz, Oliver Patterson, Jason Schooler, Callan Hodgkinson, Michael Brennan, Shane Newlands, Dave Jansen, Shannon Corbett, Philip Buckland, Jonathan Gallen, Ryan DiCardio McCarthy, Daniel Winrow, Corey Brand, Shane Patterson, Lucas Burt, and then our disconnects or retirements is Blake Urquhart and Russell Gander. So I think Russell managed to get a lap in the end. Those dramas after that tow with his car. It'll be interesting to find out what actually happened with him. So we'll jump over and see if our podium finishers are in the chat. And congratulations, Cam.
Thanks, buddy.
What a drive.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually. I'm not sure what happened to Blake, and I saw his big move in the hairpin on the first lap. I was a little bit worried he was going to overcook that.
Yeah, he lost the position, but he managed to save it. And
yeah.
couldn't quite close that gap to you, sitting on around that 3.3 seconds for a fair few laps, and then a sudden disconnect by the looks of it.
Yeah,
He
all
just
of a sudden I saw him.
disappeared on the screen, and then that was it.
Yeah, I saw him disappear. And I asked, because I was in there with Ryan, and I asked him, has he got the same thing I've got with Blake, just disappearing, and then eventually come up with a packet loss?
Yes, full disconnect for the go of it. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, no one wants that.
No, definitely. And it would have been good if you'd been able to close that gap and give you a little bit of a fight. Looked like you'll probably just run out there by yourself for a good portion.
Yeah, look, it was still a lot of fun. The Ferrari's not a car that I'm typically used to driving. I much prefer the Porsche or the Lambo. But you know, I'll have a crack at any car that comes out.
Yep. Yeah, we're coming off on a nice, probably I think another clean sweep by the look of it after wrapping up the last series in the Kia. But I bet you it's a lot nicer to drive than that Kia though.
Yeah, look, it's definitely much nicer to drive. It's not a front wheel monster like the Kia is. Still quite a technical car because you got to be smoother more than just stop start.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've got John in here now. Congratulations, John.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Good way to debut and take podium.
Yeah, I was pretty pumped by that. I wasn't too happy with my qualifying, but race pace showed out, so it was good.
And looked like you're having a lot of fun following Hammer and trying to find those opportunities to get around.
Yeah, Tyson was that was probably one of the toughest battles I've had for a long time. That was, yeah, hats off to him. I think in the end he just touched the grass and let me go through. But yeah, that was a big battle and very enjoyable. So hats off.
It was good, and then once you did get in front, he was still sticking on that tail, and it was great watching that for so many laps. It's going to be probably a fair bit of a sweat for the both of you. He's had no break throughout that.
Yes, and I did see him pit early, so I was trying to push those last couple laps, and I had a slow pit stop, mucking around with the pit limiter and everything. I wasn't able to get all the speed that I could through the pit lane, so trying to obey the rules. But I think in that end, let him go past, which definitely cost me some time. But I don't think I was going to make up the 24 seconds anyway.
And then Tyson even jumped into the chat then. He said he can't hold the steering wheel, there's that much sweat. So you really gave him a workout. That's great, Tyson. Yeah,
I hope I battle with him next time. Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to some more battles next week with that. So we'll be keeping an eye on you two again. And then congrats, Mark, on the podium.
Yeah, thank you. Team Apex's first podium, so
yeah, it is.
Pretty happy with that.
That's great.
Yeah. I think I was lucky in the end when Tyson went on the grass and the floodgates open and I managed to sneak onto the podium.
Yeah, it was a good opportunity, and then closing in on John for a little bit as well, and then falling back, and there was a couple little opportunities, but just not quite enough to get through. It would have been great if there was a couple more laps in it just to see us fight it out for a little bit.
Yeah, not quick enough to get past him, I reckon, but yeah, it was good to have a good battle at the end.
And it was good drive and good qualifying as well, and just seemed consistent with the car throughout the night, so well done.
Yeah, thank you.
And congratulations, guys, and look forward to seeing us do it all again next week. It's probably going to be a pretty tight series by the go of it with how tonight's come. So then we're off to Nürburgring GP next week, so even more...
Nordschleife.
Yes, even more technical.
Yeah, look, Nürburgring's going to give you a bit of a run. Which layout are we doing?
GP.
The GP, right? Okay.
Yes,
just that last chicane's going to be interesting.
The last chicane and that dreaded hairpin right at the end.
Yes, that's going to be absolutely
terrible.
terrible.
Lovely tyres sticking out for you. It's going to be a lot of fun seeing you bash it out in these Ferraris around there, so looking forward to it.
The lap run much to the hairpin?
Yes, definitely.
Nah, thanks JT.
No worries.
It was a lot of fun.
Congrats guys on podium finish, and good luck with round 2 next week.
Thanks everyone.
Cheers.
Then we have our podium finishes with Cameron Veacock being a round 1 winner, off to a great start, looking like a clean sweep. Yes, a clean sweep to start the series. And then John Marinas in position 2 and Mark Cochran in position 3. So a fantastic drive by our podium finishers. And then we will be heading off to the Nürburgring Grand Prix for round 2. And it's going to be a fantastic one to see. It's going to be pretty hectic, some very tight technical corners, some very fast ones, and it's going to be great seeing if we can get a good sized grid out there again, fighting it out in these Ferraris. Hit the follow button if you haven't done so already, so you can be notified when we go live. We'll be back again same time on Monday night next week at 7:35 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And then we also have round 1 of the Toyota 86 Championship on Project Cars 2 this Thursday night, and that starts at 7:45 p.m. So thanks for tuning in with us again. It's great to be back after a break and be giving you some fantastic racing. So thanks for tuning in yet again, and we'll hope to see you trackside next time.